You know what? I want to tell you guys a story, right? About rock bottom. Because what I realized in life is some people will not realize their potential until they hit rock bottom. I had several rock bottoms in my life, one of which I was incarcerated. And I don't even like to tell this story too much because normally we like to tell stories about triumph and success. And we don't like to tell stories about failure and pain and struggle. Because we want to cast ourselves in a particular light. But I want to share something with y'all. I was incarcerated, right? And I was on my way to do 3 years because I was caught with a illegal firearm while on parole. And they had sent me to, I believe I was on holiday unit at the time, a unit in Huntsville, right? And so some of you know about how the prison system is ran, some of you don't, but they give you more than one set of clothes, like two sets of clothes, okay? And whenever you take your shower and you change out and you have your dirty set of clothes to the side and your fresh set of clothes on, they have something that's called like laundry call, where you leave your cell, you leave your dorm, you leave your confinement area, and you go out to laundry to exchange your dirty clothes for a new set of clothes so that when you shower again, you can have clean clothes to put on. So I missed laundry call one day because I was at a medical lay-in. When you're getting processed in, they run a lot of tests on you. They want to draw blood. They want to check you for TB, and it's a process. It's a process. I was just getting back into the system, and so I had missed laundry call because I was at a medical lay-in. So I asked the guard that was over the dorm that I was in. I told him my situation and I showed him my lay-in, and I told him, hey, at the time when you guys called laundry, I was down in medical taking care of some business. So can I please be let out to go change my clothes? Now, it was past the time to change your clothes, and technically that they don't do that, but he told me that I can go and try. So I went down to laundry. I walked down the laundry, left the dorm, walked down the laundry, and I went up to the little window and I looked in and I talked to the corrections officer inside of the window. I explained my situation to him and I asked for a new set of clothes and I attempted to give him my dirty clothes. They told me no, right? So I attempted to explain my situation again with a little more force this time and asked them could I change out my dirty clothes for new clothes, and they told me no. Now, what you have to understand is I was on my way back to prison. This was my second trip to prison. Okay, I'm frustrated. I'm aggravated. I'm already at a low point in my life, and I'm already thinking about how I messed up again, and I'm wondering how could I possibly mess up again, and I'm angry. I internalized the pain and the regret, and I internalized my feelings of sorrow, helplessness, and I projected anger. I was upset. And so I went off on the corrections officer inside of the window, cussed them out, threatened them, told them what I would do to them if they weren't behind the window. And they basically yelled and cussed me out back and told me to get back to my dorm. I wasn't getting any clothes. So I grabbed my dirty clothes and I'm walking back to the dorm. But as I'm walking back to my dorm, I'm yelling, I'm cussing, I'm making threats, and I had so much anger built up in me at that time, and I'm just letting it all out. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. And a sergeant, another corrections officer, he approaches me and he attempts to calm me down. But at this point, I'm full throttle. I'm going in. I don't want to hear it. And so me and him, we end up exchanging words. And I proceed to tell him what I would do to him if we were on the streets. And I I don't know, man. To this day, I believe that corrections officer was high because he was sniffing and his eyes was blinking and he was talking trash back. And you know, we're face to face with chest to chest, and I'm woo 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 woo, and he woo 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 woo. If you're gonna do something, do it. And I say, man, I ain't stupid. I had 2 years, but I ended up doing 3 years because, like I say, I was caught with a gun on parole, so I had to finish some time from my earlier sentence plus the 2 years. So I tell him, all I have is 2 years. If I hit you, then I will risk getting another charge and I may end up with more time. So now, I ain't gonna hit you, but I'm gonna talk to you how I feel like talking to you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So another officer come, they put me in handcuffs, and they walk me off to this building. So the whole time they walk me off to this building, there's a couple of old school guys along the run, and they trying to tell me, youngster, calm down, youngster, it ain't worth it, youngster, leave it alone. And I'm like, F this, F that, F them. You know what I mean? I'm big man on campus, I'm tough, I'm hard, I'm gangster, yada, 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 yada. So they get me into this hallway inside of this building, okay? And now at this point, I'm angry, but I'm enjoying the ability to ruffle their feathers because that's somewhat of the only recourse that I have to get under their skin, okay? And so while I'm handcuffed, I'm in the hallway, and the one that I believe was coked up, the coked up CO, he tells the other CO, the corrections officer, to go get the lieutenant. So boom, he walks off, he bends a corner. And then when it was just me and this coked up CO by ourselves, I'm facing the wall, I'm handcuffed, hands behind my back. He leaned in close to me and he was like, talk that now. And so I was F you, right? And so we exchanged a few words, and then the guy headbutts me. And so when he headbutted me, I almost couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a minute, man. We ain't supposed to actually be aggressively attacking each other. You know, I mean, we can do that, but I know, you can't win because there's more of them than you. And honestly, I don't want more time. At this point, I'm just blowing off the steam now, but he headbutted me, escalated the situation. So I get a little more aggravated, and I'm like, hey, man, what the hell are you doing? And plus, I'm handcuffed, so I'm vulnerable. So he leans in, he cusses me out a little bit more. I cuss him out a little bit more. He headbutts me again. Boom, situation escalated a little bit more. And now it's registering in my head, like, wait a minute, it's something really wrong with this guy. He may really be high. And he may be racist. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head, but he's already headbutted me twice and I'm handcuffed. And so now I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. But I still refuse to shut up, right? And so I cuss him out a few more times. He cusses me out a few more times. He headbutts me a third time. Now, at this point, honestly, I don't want to get more time, right? I do not want to fight these guards and get an assault charge, right? I know I really can't do much fighting because I'm handcuffed, but he's headbutted me 3 times, so the situation is escalated. Now, I have no choice but to defend myself because apparently you're trying to hurt me at this point. You don't mind hurting me. You're trying to hurt me. It's not going to stop. You did it 3 times. I have to defend myself. So the only thing that I could do, I put my foot up on the wall in front of me and I pushed back. Boom! And we shot across the hallway and boom, I pushed his back up against the wall on the other side of the hallway. He grabs me and I just started, swinging around handcuffed. I'm kicking, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm throwing my head around, I'm throwing shoulders, and he's, wrestling and tussling and boom, 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 boom. We hitting the walls. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I messed up again. Right? I messed up again. Now I'm going to go from 2 years to 20 years possibly because it happens. Right? And right at this moment, the other CO is coming around the corner with the lieutenant and with some other guards. So all I hear is, hey, 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 hey. I hear feet rushing towards me. Felt like I got hit by an NFL linebacker. All I know is I got roughed up, right? I'm handcuffed. Man, they had their way with me, right? I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not even gonna front. I don't even like to tell this story because you don't like to tell a story that involves you being handled. But I got handled, right? I mean, it was moments in the battle where I was like afraid of how far was this gonna go? How bad are they willing to hurt me, right? And so I went from being jumped while handcuffed by these guards. They carried me off to this room, and long story short, they end up, roughing me up some more. They stripped me of all of my clothes, one of the most demoralizing things I've ever been through in my life. Socks, shoes, pants, shirt, boxers, everything. Everything. And boom, had me, paraded me through this lockup area where it was individuals in lockup cells. They paraded me through there. All I hear is, I'm in the daze. All I hear is people yelling and screaming, yelling out of their cells. And it was almost like how you see in the movie, and people on their cells and something happening and they just acting like animals and just because these individuals been in lockup. I don't know how long. They seeing some action and something going on, and now they just hooping and hollering, and all I hear is yelling. And so they carried me off to this room. It wasn't actually a cell, but they opened it up. Boom, I hit a lock. They opened it up. They tossed me inside. So the room, when I realized that the room that I was in was actually like a vestibule type room. But it was a locked door here and it was a locked door here. And this locked door led outside to the rec yard. Okay? And so while I was in that room, it was a metal toilet, a toilet sink combo that you see in the prison movies. That was in there. It was a pull-up bar and it was a metal seat with a metal bench attached to the wall. Now the floors are concrete. The walls are concrete and everything else is metal. Now, this is like the middle of December. It's cold as hell. And that wind is blowing up under that door, right? And it's like they crunk up the AC because the room itself was cold and everything in the room was cold. And I don't have on nothing. Now, I don't like cold air anyway. I like the heat. I'm a tropical individual. Right? I need the sun. And so I don't like the cold anyway. And so I get up, I'm no longer handcuffed, but I'm at the door and I'm talking trash like, man, what the hell is going on here? What's wrong with you people? Ooh. But they left, the door was locked, they left me back there. Nobody would even walk by. Nobody would pass by. Nobody was concerned. Nobody was listening. I had nobody that I could reach out to and I was stuck. Right? And I was in that room in that condition for several hours, okay? And man, it was as if I was in the Arctic somewhere. It was so cold, family. It was so cold that the bottom of my feet hurt standing on that concrete floor. And the only thing that I could do, right, is crouch down and ball up into a ball, but I couldn't sit on the floor. I balled up into a ball and I took my left foot and I took my right foot and I put my right foot on top of my left foot and I stood like that and I crouched down and I just held myself together trying to keep in as much body heat as I could, and I'm just thinking about how I messed up. And I stayed in that position until the bottom of my left foot got so cold and the pain was so great. Then I switched foots and I put my right foot on the floor and I put my left foot on top of my right foot and I crouched back down. And I just did that, switching feet for several hours. And while I was in that state was one of the most profound moments of rock bottom that I've ever hit in my life. And I realized something had to change. I could not live in these types of conditions for the rest of my life. I knew that I could not continue to put myself in these types of situations. I couldn't continue to put myself in these types of situations. I realized that. You know, and sometimes, in order for you to go sky high, you gotta hit rock bottom. In order for you to go sky high, you gotta hit rock bottom. And I'm saying that to say this: no matter where you are in life, no matter how far you think you've fallen, no matter how bad things have gotten, it can get better. But it will only get better when you're fed up, right? And you make a conscious decision and a conscious effort to change your life. And you change your life by changing your thinking. You change your life by changing your thinking. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, but hopefully you can hear the story of someone else's rock bottom, and maybe you can avoid that. I didn't always have the things that I have right now. I was literally at a point in my life where I had nothing but the skin on my back. And there was nothing that I could do about it. No one was coming to help me. I was all alone. I was on my own, right? And it just so happened that when I was tussling, this is how they played me. When I was tussling with the guard that headbutted me, right? Some kind of way, I gave him a bloody nose. Maybe when I was throwing elbows and shoulders and flipping my head, I don't know, but I gave him a bloody nose. So here was the options, right? Either I could pursue what they did to me, try to take him to court, and most likely lose, because who's gonna believe a convict? Who cares what a convict says, right? And try to say that, oh, he headbutted me first and the cops beat me up and I want to sue them or something like that. And they were going to counter with, I was acting a fool, which I was. It's all on camera. Everybody saw me acting a fool in front of the laundry, acting a fool on the run, acting a fool on the way to the building. And I initiated the aggression. And now I would have to fight an assault charge, because now they're going to file charges on me because his nose is busted. So what do? So either we can battle it out, is what the lieutenant told me. Either we can battle it out, or we could just leave it alone. I don't say nothing, they don't say nothing. I don't get no case, I don't get no write-up, I don't get no, all they're gonna do, what they told me, they're gonna give me my new clothes, and I can go back to my dorm, and in a couple of days, I'll be off that unit to wherever I was gonna do my 3 years, and it'll be like it never happened. So what option do you think I took? Give me my clothes, let me go back to my dorm. But I embrace situations like that now, because I can comfortably say, look where I came from and look where I'm at now. Because I'm a far cry away from that cell, and I'm a far cry away from that destructive behavior. And I can say I was once at rock bottom, but now I'm sky high. And that means the world to me. And so if you're at rock bottom, don't give up, because you can go from rock bottom to sky high too. It's possible and it's been done. Just change the way you think. That's all you have to do. You change your thinking, you change your behavior, you change your behavior, you change your circumstances. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it works. From rock bottom to sky high. May your name live on forever, and may your memory never die. Hotel.